Okay, so it's 6:02, and so I call the meeting to order. And first, the PRC attendance. Sarah, Ryan, myself, and Don are here. Missy and Mary Ellen are in telephone land. And so we have a quorum. And you know if Tim's coming, Don? I haven't heard anything. Okay, but we have enough to get going on the meeting. And first, I'd like to wish everyone a happy and a healthy New Year, and hope that you had a lot of fun over Christmas and New Year's, and especially healthy, because there seems to be too much respiratory stuff going around right now. Okay, we have the previous meeting minutes from the meeting of 12/7 of last month. I looked at all the minutes. It looked fine for me. Any Park and Rec commissioner like to comment about what they read in the minutes? Add, subtract? No? Okay. How about Sarah? Would you make a motion to?
Yeah, I move to approve the minutes for the December 7th PRC meeting.
Right. You second it? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, okay.
Bob, excuse me, who seconded?
Who seconded? Ryan. Sarah, and then Ryan second. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. So, according to the agenda, the next thing we have to do is the election of officers. The chair, vice chair, and secretary being served by myself, Brendan, and Mary Ellen. Anybody have any thoughts on that, or just want to continue to go with what we got, or what? Does anybody
I had a question. How long is the term?
It's every year. Every commission has to go through this, the election of officers or selection of officers. So, would you somebody want to make a motion just to approve the current slate, or?
Is that how it works?
Oh yeah, that's all you have to. That's what we usually do if everybody agrees to continue on in the capacity.
Does Brent be here for that?
No, because we have a quorum, we can just.
Oh, okay.
And he said he's willing to be placed here.
Okay.
Okay. So you.
And Mary Ellen, you want to continue on as secretary? I just want to.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I already talked to her. So. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so would somebody like to make a motion just to approve the current chair, vice chair, and secretary to continue on this year?
I'll make a motion to continue.
Okay.
With the election of Bob.
Okay, so it's Bob, Brendan, and Mary Ellen for those three positions. Sarah, you want a second?
Sure. I'll second the motion.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Mary Ellen?
Aye.
Okay. All right. So we have the same slate of officers for next year. Oh, anyone opposed? No? Saying no. Okay. All right. This re-up for PRC Commissioners Mary Ellen and Sarah. Their present terms end at the end of this month, 1/31/24. The process, at least in the past, was that you should send a letter to the Selectman's office saying that you want to continue to be a commissioner on the Park and Rec, and then CC myself, and then I will then write to the Selectman's office that if Mary Ellen and Sarah, you still want to continue, Sarah?
Yes.
Okay, Mary Ellen?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so just make sure you send not a letter, an email to the Selectman's office saying that you wish to continue serving as a member, as a commissioner on the Park and Rec Commission, and then I'll send a letter saying I strongly endorse you guys to continue, especially Mary Ellen and Sarah, who went overboard this year. I'm thanking you again for all the hard work you did on the subcommittee. to work on what we needed for improvements in Haynes Park. So it's funny to you, the two that are up there, and you did even more than what's requested. Okay, so Mary Ellen and Sarah, please send an email tomorrow, I'd say, because I believe they want to know by January 8th, and that should be then taken care of once I write my support. Okay, we'll move on then. Director's report, update on PRC programs and facilities.
Okay. First of all, get reminded that all rec desk registration is required for all Parks and Rec programs, and all details are listed on the rec desk site and are advertised on the Parks and Rec website, Facebook, and Instagram. Currently, adult basketball is going on at the high school gym on Wednesday evenings from 6 to 9 p.m. and Sunday mornings from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Started back in December. Now the winter session will run through February 28th. There's no fee for Lima Lime residents. Non-residents fee for the sessions are $40. Drop-in fee $5. To date, there are 32 participants registered, and there will be alternative dates and times throughout this based on the high school basketball schedules. Adult volleyball is similar. Open gym winter sessions are held at the high school gym on Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. Again, no fee for Lima Lime residents. Non-residents, $35, $5 drop-in. To date, there are 38 participants registered. There will be alternate dates and times also based on the high school basketball schedules, and that session will start next week. Winter youth basketball registration is closed, even though there's some late sign-ups happening. The program will run on Saturdays. We delayed it a week. We're going to start January 13th and go through March 2nd, 2024. Programs open to Lima Lime residents, pre-K ages through grade 5. The sessions are held at the Lima Lime Middle School and at the high school gyms. At the time of the meeting, there are 153 participants registered. The first PK group has 12. The second pre-K group has 16. And the grades K through 5 groups has a total of 125 kids, separated by grade and genders. Parks and Rec facilities. Townwoods Park, Haynes Park, Cross Lane Park, and White Sand Beach building facilities are all winterized and closed for the season. The boathouse docks and the kayak launch dock at Haynes Park were pulled from the water on Saturday, December 9th. Recent walkthrough and facility and safety inspection of these facilities was conducted by Kerma, our insurance company. No update has been provided as of yet. State of Connecticut inspectors recently inspected the well and water tank system for the Townwoods Park building. A couple minor deficiencies were noted at Townwoods Park and are scheduled to be fixed. Public Works recently removed large amounts of sand in the parking lot by their machinery and placed it back on the beach and then swept the parking lot. The accumulation was from recent storms. They then pushed existing sand on the beach up to form berms across the beach in an effort to prevent similar events from happening again over the winter. White Sand Beach Association had done the same thing, so we did it, and hopefully it's going to work. And that's my update on programs.
Okay, any questions for Don? Don's program? The winter programs, of course, we don't have quite as many, and the weather's nice. But Don, thank you very much. Anybody have a question for Don? No? Okay. Then we'll just move on, okay? And you are doing the budget is in process for next year, right? The meeting with Martha and all that. The budget update?
Yeah, don't you have that later in the...
Oh, no, I have it right there.
Okay, yeah. I completed my budget, essentially, turned it into the finance department. I'm scheduled in January, later January, to meet with the Board of Selectmen to review it, and then I'll get a assigned date by the Board of Finance to review it with them. That'll probably be in February.
Okay, so that process is ongoing. Okay, next thing we go to is some of the old business. This fish ladder sign for Haynes Park. we met with Ellie. What's Ellie's last name? Karzinski or something. Don't know how to spell that, but Don, do you know how to spell that? No.
Probably fine.
Yeah. Okay. Mary Ellen, do you have?
Oh, she's copied on the email.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I have her name.
Yeah, we met with Ellie this morning, and now this is the sign that's been in works for over 10 years, I guess, and it was sponsored by the DEEP, I believe, that paid for it, most of it, and it has to do with not specifically the fish ladder, but Rogers Lake, the migration of the fish that might go up and down or up that fish ladder, and also about just the general DEP regulations and stuff on that apply. There's also a I don't know, some sort of poem about nature on there. It's been a long time ago since we read all this stuff, at least 2 years ago. But the sign was fine. She wants the sign to appear somewhere in Haynes Park so that people can then walk around and read about this. And it's not necessary for it to be by the fish ladder. That's the question we had. Should it be by the fish ladder on Town Woods Road? And the way the sign, it's not just about that fish ladder. So it's not necessary to be there at that location. So we did pick out a location between where the playground's going to be and towards the lake in a wooded area there. There's plenty of room for everybody to read. And she thought it was very important to face, for one side of it, to face parking lot as people come in so they know it's there. So we met with Ed Dante, myself, and Don, and we picked a spot for it. So everything should work out well there. Right, Don? Yeah.
It should.
Yeah, it should. And she was happy about that. And so that's where it's going to go. Ed Dante will get to it when he can. If it's too freezing cold, he won't be able to do it. But if the weather cooperates, whenever he can get to it, he'll put that in. So that'll be done in hopefully the next month or two.
Is it kind of along where the vegetation starts? Like, I'm just trying to picture what that means. Sorry I couldn't attend the meeting. I had other conflicts.
Yeah, well, we know you have to work, so it's a little harder. The morning. Don, you want to explain it?
Well, it's kind of between where the playground was and that garden sign, right in the middle there. It's out of the way of everything.
Yeah.
So there's no, like, when we put the playground, any movement left, right?
No.
Just to make sure it's incorporated within the plan.
No, there should be no interference, so everybody could see it clearly from the parking lot, and the future gazebo, the future pavilion will not interfere with it at all. So that she was satisfied with where we're going to put it. So.
Oh, excuse me. Before you go any farther,
yeah.
Can I add one more thing to my director?
Oh, of course.
I started the process of contacting last year's employees. There's 47 employees we had last year for Parks and Rec. I've contacted everybody, and I'm trying to confirm if they're coming back or not this year, and we're going through that process right now. Right now, a lot of kids are planning on coming back. There's only one definite no. At this point, there's several unsures at this point, but that whole process is in process as well.
Oh, good. And usually there's trainings that you have for a lot of especially for the day camp. So it sounds like you're going to have plenty of applicants.
Yeah, we usually do. We usually do. I just try to start the process early to get it going.
Yeah, sounds good. Anything else, Don?
No.
Okay. All right. So we move on then to the playground. Now the playground, we all saw the different layouts for the playground at the last meeting. We talked about it more, and also Sarah was on, and Mary Ellen, the subcommittee. They have it in their plan for the playground, and I think everyone I think, over a year ago or whatever, everyone approved the fact that it could be either the middle price one or the least expensive one, and I think we all settled on the middle price one, right, Don? I don't have the figures. Huh?
I thought so, yes.
Yeah. So, that estimate includes playground swings delivered $37,655, installation $16,000, lumber and railroad tie border $7,788, 65 yards of wood fiber, and installation of the wood fiber, 65 yards of wood fiber for $2,500, and installation of wood fiber $4,255. And this will be budgeted from the funds from the town of Old Lyme for a tune of $68,168 approximately. I think that everyone is agreeable to that. Am I right, Sarah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I understand.
Yeah. And Ryan,
Yeah, I think we talked about this.
Yeah, we talked about this the last time, but we were going to officially approve it at this meeting. That's why I bring it up again. I just have one addition to that. Sarah and Mary Ellen and Don, are we going to put a fence around this playground? Some playgrounds have a fence around them because we do have money in the budget for a fence.
I don't think it's been decided.
Okay. Okay. So let's just first have a vote to approve what I just went over for the $68,168. Would someone like to make a motion about that? Yes, sir.
Is it move to approve it?
The move to approve.
Move to approve
Yeah.
the allocation that Bob described for the
Right.
program.
That are also in the Haynes Park Subcommittee, Enhancement Subcommittee report of November 2nd, 2023. Okay, someone second? Okay, Ryan seconded. Okay, now, any discussion, more discussion about that? We've had discussion about it last meeting and other meetings. And Mary Ellen, Missy, would you like to say anything about that?
No,
Thank you.
I'm happy about it.
Okay. So both of you are good with that?
Yes,
Missy?
definitely.
Okay,
Yes, definitely.
all right. Okay, so we made a motion to approve this. It was seconded. Okay, now, any other discussion? No? Hearing no more discussion? We'd like to have a vote on that now. For all those approved, say aye. That approve this, say aye.
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 Mary Ellen says aye.
Aye.
Okay. Anyone opposed? No? Okay. Anyone abstain? No? Okay. So we'll go forward with that plan, and if there's any additional, sometimes there's hiccups along the way, then we'll deal with them if they come by, if we have to do something else. And I think everybody for the next meeting should think about, do we want a fence around that? So far out at Haynes Park, we never had a fence around it. I don't know if it's necessary, but Don, do we have to check with somebody to say if a fence is necessary for a playground?
I guess we can. I don't know who I would check with, but I can try to figure that out.
Okay.
We never had one forever.
Would Dave Catalano have any guidance on this?
He might.
I can reach out to Dave now.
Yeah.
If the Haynes Park was just grandfathered in or something, if there's some regulation, because both Cross Lane and Town Woods
Have fences.
have fences.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
maybe there's
that was the only question I had. Do we need to have a fence around?
Right.
Mile Creek just put in a new playground and there's no fence there.
That's true.
There's no fence across the street either.
That's true.
Okay, yeah, so it's probably not necessary, but I just,
Yeah.
We discussed it. If memory serves, the committee, there was like pros and cons of a fence. Aesthetic.
I'm just guessing if Dave, because he was involved in discussion with Dave, he probably would have said, you need one,
yeah.
if you did. But I don't know that for sure.
Well, if they don't have one across the way. Yeah, I don't, and we didn't have one there. We probably don't need one. I'm just raising that question.
Right.
So we may want to just look into that, and we could always then deal with that if a fence is necessary, which I don't think we, as a commission, think it's necessary because we've had it without
Right.
fence for so long. Okay. All right. So we approved the playground. Okay. So now we come to the other town enhancements at Haynes Park update. Don, I think you mentioned something about, I call it the sand cleaning machine.
Yeah. A while back, I suggested, because at the end of a contract, it's not even in my budget, it's on the Public Works budget, but the same person who does it or did it put in our swim lines, and those contracts were ended. So we're looking into new ideas, and I suggested that this town look into purchasing their own machine to save money and to get things done to our satisfaction more readily. And Public Works folks have been looking into it. They found a machine that we're informed of today can be suitable for us. There's a couple of them recently purchased for beaches in Rhode Island. There's one purchased for a beach in Connecticut. So they're going to arrange for some kind of demonstration, and Mark has been involved with it. Public Works has been involved with it, and they're trying to work out that situation right now. So right now it looks favorable to the town purchasing their own.
It makes so much sense to do that, and that not only would we have a machine that we could use at White Sands Beach, but also Haynes Park, hopefully to clear up, especially the goose pool.
It's a self-propelled machine similar to what the street sweeper is like. So it doesn't have to be trailed around. You drive it to where you want to go.
Okay. Okay, well, that sounds good. So that's in the works. Anyone have a comment about that? Thank you for looking into that, and also Martha, because I think this is a good addition for the what we need in the town. Anybody, Maya or Sarah, you want to comment?
I'm strongly in favor of it and appreciate your efforts on it.
Yeah, okay. And Mary Ellen and Missy, you would like to say something about it?
No, I think it sounds smart.
Okay. All right. So that's great. We're going along that line. Okay. The next one is dredging. Don, myself, and Ed Adante yesterday morning met with Shahaki and Son Inc. That they do this type of dredging work and other types of dredging work. They're on Hatchetts Hill and Old Lyme, local people. And it was very nice to meet the father, Tim, and the son, Josh. And they, being located in Old Lyme, they said they were willing to help us out. Any advice we need or whatever. Then they realized that if we got to the point where we're going to do something like this, it would have to go out to bid. So that they've been very helpful. We told them about ideas of how far we wanted to dredge, and maybe no deeper than 4 feet in the deepest part. And they are going to put together a ballpark figure for us of what it may cost. They also suggested that we get an engineer that's familiar with this type of work, that they're going to send me the name of that engineer, because we probably have to have an engineer first to design what's happened before we go to bid. So that's going to be moving along, and we told them we realized that with a price tag that's probably going to be considerable, this may not be doable right away or in the next year, or maybe similar to something like we had with the basketball courts and tennis courts and out at Cross Lane. So we will, once we get a little more idea of what's going on, then talk to the selectmen about it and how we should proceed. But hopefully we could get this area dredged. It's not only the beach area, but there'd be some dredging also where the docks are. But that dredging for that was going to be more limited to closer to the shoreline. We gave them an idea of, well, maybe if we had a swim area 50 feet out, that they said in that case, if you do that, you have to dredge 70 feet out. So there's some water flow to keep some of the crud or whatever, the muck from washing into that area. So we'll get some numbers on that, hopefully, and then see where that goes. But we're going to hopefully do some dredging. Okay.
Just a question on that one. Anticipating it to be a long-term project, when do we think we would want to loop in getting like the surveying and the permitting and pursuing that sort of like regulatory side of it? Is that
right.
further down?
That's where I think we have to get Martha or the selectmen to approve to get an engineer first that would tell the town all the things we need. We don't.
Yeah. The only thing I'll note is Mary Lewis, who was on the PRC subcommittee, she serves also on the Water Management Commission, and so she's familiar with that.
I think inland wetlands.
Or wetlands.
Inland wetlands, yeah.
Inland.
Yeah, oh, good. Well, the Harbor Commission.
Okay.
Yeah, she's on the Harbor Commission, yes.
Yeah. But she mentioned when we developed the report and talked about dredging that she has experience in it, so she might be someone that could help
Okay.
guide that if we pursue it.
Okay, we hope to pursue it, and we would welcome her participation. We're not at the point where we're going to do it right away, but it would be nice if somehow we get this into the part of this into the budget process for next year, right, Don?
Put it in there.
Yeah. Just because we may have to do something like we did for the pickleball, tennis courts, and accumulate the money over a couple of years at least.
That was 3 years for that.
That was 3 years for that. And how much was that total?
$450,000. Put $150,000 a year.
Yeah. So, but we're starting to do that, or at least we met with one dredger, a local guy who's very proud to be able to help out locally because their business is located in Old Lyme.
I'll let Terry know if it's okay with you, just that we're taking these steps, because she also mentioned state and local grants that can come available for dredging specifically. There weren't any funds left when we looked.
Yes.
But then maybe
for next
she
year
can help us keep an eye on when those grants might come available.
Well, that could you be the liaison since
Yeah.
she was on your subcommittee to deal with to contact Terry, and I know she's been very helpful over the years, and she actually was very instrumental in the big playground that's out at Townwoods Park back in those days. So we appreciate her help in any way she could provide it. Okay. The next part is the concrete bulkheads for docks and also to increase the swim area. Everyone finally got the thoughts of bulkheads for docks from Chris McCauley, and I believe Paul also helped that Paul Fuchs helped design this thing. They designed it. There's two objectives. One is to make sure, of course, it's whatever we settle on for where the docks are, that it's for safe boating for the sculls and their rowing program. But the other objective was to try and increase the swim area. And when we had a meeting with Chris, Don and I were at a meeting with Chris, we asked if there's any way that we could actually move the docks closer to where the boathouse is, and to make all that work along with their chase boats and all that. And this is a nice first attempt, but as everyone saw in this plan, it actually seemed to move the area where the bulkheads would go even further to the boat, to the swim area. Don and I are going to talk to Chris and Paul again, see if we can refine this a little bit. But we appreciate the fact that they sent this. This was sent December 19th, right before Christmas holiday. And I sent it to all the commissioners just the other day. So, anybody, those two objectives, make sure this for safe boating through program, and also try and increase the swim area. So Don and I are going to get back with Chris and I guess Paul Fuchs to refine this plan a little bit. So hopefully we can get something done before the next season is upon us. Anyone have any comments or questions? No? Okay. Okay, so we will meet again with them and see if somehow we can even increase the swim area a little bit more. Okay, the next one is yeah.
Beaver's on the phone.
Oh, Brendan, you're on there?
Hey, Bob, I'm here. Yep.
Okay, great, Brendan. I'm glad you're on there. Okay, you just got on, right?
Yeah, about 4 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. So, so we're just moving along with the agenda, and
Very good.
so far, so good on everything. Your name was put up for vice chair again. I hope you accept that.
I accept.
Okay. All right. Good. Good. I remember first time I got appointed, I wasn't even around to accept. But anyway, okay, good. Let me see. Okay, so we're on that security cameras. Before Martha left, just before our meeting, she popped into our meeting hall here and let us know that they are working on a security camera program, not only for Haynes Park, which, by the way, we've been requesting this for about 3 years now because unfortunately, vandalism takes place there. But they're working on it, and so I said that's good to hear. So hopefully that's in the process because there's certain spots, Town Hall being one, where they want to put security cameras too. I think Ed Dante mentioned something that they should be at the Public Works, and he didn't think it was necessary there. It's never been a problem. So it's good to hear that Martha dropped in to tell us that that's in the works. Anybody have a comment about that? No? Hearing no?
Nope.
The goose nuisance we mentioned last time, sometimes the University of Connecticut has, quote, consultants and experts on things like this. And Sarah, did you have
I did not have success finding such consultants. I'll keep looking. What I found were resources at the DEEP.
Yeah.
So they have wildlife management.
So all that because Park.
So I plan to reach out to those individuals. They may not be the same contact people, but that's the path I was going to pursue, and then ask if you knew anyone specifically at UConn, because I do think that
I don't.
but I couldn't find anyone.
That was like many years ago.
Oh, okay.
With questions about whether or not we're going into wetlands with
Yeah.
woods. And we got somebody from University of Connecticut to verify what our engineers said was definitely not wetlands.
Okay. Yeah, but definitely the DEP looks like it has a wealth of resources,
Yeah.
and the information that I read confirms the kind of research that the committee has done, and that it's not going to be a silver bullet. It's going to be a combination of things. And actually, I learned even more about the nuisance that these things present, and that an adult lays poops like a pound a day. Anyway, and they live for 12 to 15 years, so even the egg addling only hits a fraction of that problem. And there may be ways to have roundups of these animals. Obviously, certain folks may have strong feelings about that, but even the wildlife folks confirm that like lethal methods may be necessary, and we have to work even collaboratively across town. So I'm going to try to find out more about how this region is approaching this, and try to get in on those approaches. It's not just, you can't just do your pocket of the universe and spread your problem. They're trying to have an approach.
That's Sarah, thanks so much. That's excellent. That's an excellent resource to DEP on this. If if the University of Connecticut doesn't have somebody like that. We were lucky with the wetlands that they had somebody that was an expert.
Yeah. Yeah,
That,
so I'll
you know.
hopefully find out more before our next meeting.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, anyone have a comment about that?
Along with that subject, in my budget, I reestablished the funds that were taken up the previous time for Haynes Park, Townwoods Park, and I added additional funds for Cross Lane as was discussed at last meeting.
Right, because before there was about what?
It was $10,000
$10,000 or
$10,000
so.
for Haynes, $5,000 for Townwoods, and we added $3,000 for Cross Lane in my budget and presented it now.
Okay, that's good.
That'll come up.
Yeah, that's good. But it would be very helpful if we could get a quote expert to
Right.
confirm that this would be helpful. These things would be helpful. Or whatever the
Yeah, and they
mitigation
look
is.
at some official publications too, so even if we aren't able, by the time the budget drilling comes up in February, there's material for questions that may arise as to the need.
Okay, good. All right, Don, very good to put that in the budget just to get everybody on board to talk about it. And this is this is an encore a problem not only in this community but all the communities around here. Because the geese decide they like it around here, and they're here often.
And did we forward Dr. McCauley's letter, or how did that?
What's that?
Did we have to forward Dr. McCauley's letter about the goose problem? Did that go to Martha?
I don't know. I forget who that went to.
Okay.
I think I just gave it to us here. I'll check on that.
Okay.
And up there.
Okay.
Or it's not
Okay.
if it hasn't already.
All about the letter, yeah, we got
Yeah.
the roller, so yeah, that's not. All everybody knows it's a problem, it's just that no one's quite sure what the solution is,
Yeah.
or what we should be doing to try and get a solution. Okay, and then I put down et cetera, and I just had one comment. I didn't see it in the plans here, but when we have a pavilion, we're going to need a couple of handicap accessible picnic tables. Yeah, I didn't. Was it in there with the pavilion? But just
But I didn't have a cost estimate for it.
yeah. Well, I looked into. It all depends on what size you get, and also what type of thing, whether or not straight thing, or sometimes they have like roundish ones, and we have to decide that. But when I looked at the prices a while back, and it's anywhere from like $600 to $1,000 for each table. I think when you say ADA, they add money to what this should cost. When we we'll have to decide what type, in the next coming months, because the idea is to try and get the pavilion in there sometime this spring. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And surfacing. So those.
The surface, we still haven't established what the surface would be. The first thought was cement. I think you could do it with paper, but you need a solid surface. And then, of course, we're going to have at least 3-foot wide paths to the pavilion and also to the playground.
Parking lot, yeah.
From the parking lot, because the parking lot's considered ADA, that it's a harder surface. So we still have to determine what we're going to put under the pavilion.
And did you say to the playground too?
Excuse me?
Did you say to the parking lot, and then did you say another location too? The playground?
He said playground, I said parking lot.
Okay.
Yeah, but we would need a path that will go at least 3 feet wide, and I believe after a certain amount of feet, you have to have a bigger turnaround. But I can't remember how far that is. But that would be to the pavilion and then also to the playground. But it would be like one path that can veer off maybe like a Y kind of to service both spots.
Mhm.
Okay, and picnic tables, we can get that once we decide on what type of surface we're going to put this on. Anything else in the et cetera? That's all I have for now. Anything else? Anybody comment on anything else at this time? We can still work as we go along on anything else, but, okay?
Has anyone been down there since there was like some real torrential rain, right, to that new apron?
Oh, the new apron works tremendously. And but yeah, but now everything goes straight down, and it's got curbing on one, especially on the one side towards the basketball court, and it also has a small lip, and it also comes to a rise of approximately 6 inches from the surface of Route 1, but it doesn't impact the trailers that are going out there or anything. So that was a good fix that was put in there.
I wanted to ask because I know we had a couple of weeks ago it was like torrential rain in a short period of time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But now that everything used to go right off Route 1 and then go down a little creek, so to speak, towards the lake. But this time, now everything is fixed. Finally, it was improperly. It was initially improperly installed. Okay, and I'm glad that the selectmen went along with fixing that. Okay. Okay. Hey, nothing else there? Okay. New business. Don has talked about, and we've generally talked about, fees for any out-of-town groups for park usage.
Yeah, I said that I would help try to figure this out. Trying to start to make some contact. I'm gonna have to pick your brain on if you know.
Yeah, Wendy looked up a few things.
Okay.
I don't have that information with me tonight, but we started the process to look at what's going on in other towns.
I know something is in place at Bradbrook because the Southland Soccer Club had to, as I understand it, had to pay to use some fields there when they typically rent fields at New London High School and there's a renovation going on there or something. So they had to move some games to Bradbrook. And as I understand it, there was an exchange of money involved in that. I don't know how much or how it worked or whatever, but I have a contact in East Lyme that I'm trying to see if I can get some more information out of.
Or if you have a contact, or maybe Winnie or Don has the Park and Rec contact for Bradbrook and see what their policy is, because we should have a policy for that.
Yeah, Winnie's already started looking into this. I don't have that update for tonight.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, good. Anybody else have a comment about that? How about Brendan, Missy, or Mary Ellen? Any thoughts on that?
I don't at this time, except would the draft that Winnie's working on be something we could review at another meeting?
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
It's not in draft form yet, Mary Ellen. It's just she's collecting information from other people.
Oh, okay. Right here. Okay.
Yeah, so that's ongoing, and hopefully we'll have some idea what we may then do about that out-of-town groups using our parks. Okay. Anybody else? No? Okay. Any other new business? No? Anybody? No? Okay.
I have one question, a follow-up. On the White Sands outhouse, is that bathroom? Is there any progress in identifying people? I have someone who might be interested in serving, but I just wanted to know if there's any progress in selecting a group of people. I know we haven't formed a specific committee yet, but I anticipate we would do that. But
no, nothing.
Okay.
I have nothing.
Okay. All right. I don't have any other new business. Anybody else? Any new business? Okay. Under correspondence, we did receive from Chris McCauley the thing about the dock, where the docks would be. I said the date just before. It was on December 19th or something. I mentioned it before. I don't know.
December 19th.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So we received that, and we thank them for their efforts there. And as I said before, Don and I and maybe even Ed Adante will meet with them again to see if we can increase the swim area a little bit more. Okay, and then we have public comment. And you come up here so we can hear you. Okay, we have now. What's your name again?
My name is Cheryl Shylowski. How's it going, everybody?
Okay, Cheryl. And how do you spell your last name?
Shylowski.
Okay. Okay, Cheryl, go ahead. What do you?
So I'm really here because I've been speaking with a lot of moms of younger kids in the school system and looking at what's coming out for options for after-school programming and trying to figure out if we can either support you in broadening that or if offering a wider selection throughout the year, because the sports are awesome and I think we have a lot of kids in the town that are really into that, but also things that run through different cycles, maybe do some art crafts. I work currently in East Lyme in the schools. I had worked in Guilford in the schools, and kind of each town approaches it differently. So I asked the principal over at Mile Creek where my goes, and I know that there's a few programs that the PTO puts together that cover a narrow window, but in other towns it seems there's a lot of offerings where schools will bus kids to one point, and there's like, an hour program for a 6-week session, and then there's like a week off, and then another 6-week session for really affordable prices for working parents. I just think that that's great, and it's semi-structured time for kids to be able to do things together that are not video game based, basically. So I just was trying to figure out how to get more on the offering for that.
Well, I can update you that Winnie and I have already talked about this type of thing.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Beginnings of it.
Yeah.
We don't have no programming like that, but we're talking about getting involved with that type of stuff at the same time without interfering with the groups that are doing stuff,
Yeah.
school stuff like that. So I can tell you that we've started discussing it, and that's about as far as we've gotten so far. So we would welcome any kind of input.
I'm going to offer. Do
Yeah.
you want a person just, I don't know if it's a subcommittee or anything, but I work in schools. I spend a lot of time with kids and have seen programs that are successful and the frustration of trying to round people up and find things for kids to do that are positive experiences. So I'm more than happy to jump on board with you.
I would suggest that the first thing I would do is get together, Winnie, myself, and
Yeah.
you, and start from there.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll make an appointment.
All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Winnie's been out this week, but I'm in anticipation of that next week. And
Yeah.
are you free during the day? Or is it?
I'm not. So I work during the day. I'm usually done with work by around 2:30. But, I can be
Yeah.
pretty flexible with my
Yeah.
schedule.
Well, our schedules are pretty flexible at times. I don't know, because we have night programs or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Also coach
Yeah.
stuff like that, but we can do something else.
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Oh, yeah.
I'm, right down the road, so it's easy
Yeah.
for me to.
It's wonderful to hear somebody like you, Cheryl, that's willing to get involved and help,
Yeah.
because everybody's ideas are welcome.
Yeah, I think you guys are great.
Yeah.
So, and
If you could send me an email.
I will do that. I know
Yeah.
your email. I have it
Yeah.
from when I did the Park and Rec basketball. So,
Send me an email, and then we'll figure something out.
Yay! All right, that's awesome. That's all I came for. Awesome, great.
Well, I'm glad you came.
Well, you know what?
Thank you, Cheryl.
Just
Yeah.
settle in and.
Somebody thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah?
I just said thank you. That was all. Yeah.
Okay, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. And
Okay.
just know, this is one of those jobs that is so thankless, and it is so appreciated to have, while my son was playing after school, I walked around and was checking out the new pickleball courts, and I'm like, my in-laws love these, and I'm not a pickleball person myself,
Yeah.
but just for older people or people who enjoy pickleball to have good quality equipment in a place they're not going to twist an ankle or have to bring a net with them, and stuff like that.
Those courts turned out beautifully.
Yeah, people use them like it's
Yeah.
40 degrees out. People were using them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
We put in 4, we probably could have put in 10.
Yeah.
But I hear that other people, but I even heard that the Old Line Country Club is talking about trying to put pickleball courts in
Yeah,
too.
that's such a fad, yeah.
Yeah, that's the news.
But, you know, that stuff and the sports for the kids and, you know, my niece just graduated high school here a year ago, and she was a big participant on the track team. And for people, she's going to a D1 school and running for them now. And for people to cultivate talent like that, you need to have the early exposure and a way to do it, not necessarily on a travel team, but in a fun, you know, place where you're doing it with your classmates and you're seeing the coaches that you'll see down the road when you get older. It's huge.
I think most of us helped out at some point in our lives
I'm
as
sure.
coaches.
Yeah.
Or getting involved in all that, and then we end up here trying to get more people involved.
That's how it goes. Well, I'll send you an email. I'll let you guys wrap things up, but thank you very much. I
Okay, well,
appreciate
thank
it.
you
Thanks
for coming.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay, any other public comment out in telephone land if somebody wants to say something? Not hearing anything. Would someone like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
Okay.
I'll second.
Ryan will second. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, anyone opposed? No. Abstained? No. Okay, well, thank you very much, and I don't have a clock in front of me, but what time is it?
6:54.